Welcome to part 3 of my solar hot water heater. I wanted to start off first by showing you my heater on the inside, the regular hot water heater. One thing I've done, which helps out a whole bunch, is to insulate the heater. I've put a heater blanket on it, and I've also just kind of piled a bunch of old clothes I don't use anymore on the top to help hold in heat. Then of course I put the cute little blanket around it. I've got an electric hot water heater, so I'm not worried about leaving the top open to vent for gas or anything like that. So anyway, another thing I've done is insulated both the hot line and the cold, because I have noticed if you're not using water for a while, even your cold line, some of your heat will escape from there. So I've insulated both of them. Now right here is my three-way valve system. That line right here is my cold line that goes into my hot water heater, and these three valves control the water. What I've got here, I've got this one here shut off, so the water, and this one open, so the water comes in and goes through here and out to the solar heater. Then of course out of the solar heater it comes in here. I've got this one open, and then it goes into the tank. That way if I do have any type of problem with the solar heater or anything's leaking, or I just need to bypass the solar heater for some reason, I can just close these two valves, open this one, and the regular cold water will just go down into my regular hot water heater here. And that's how the three-way valve system works. Here again is my solar hot water heater outside. Of course this is a batch type hot water heater, and you see my hot and cold lines right there. Something I did do to this particular thing, I noticed, of course I live here in Florida like I said before, and it gets extremely hot here in Florida, and this back porch gets real hot. And I noticed I did have the edges here painted brown just like the rest of the heater, but the top of the wood got so hot that I was worried it might start splitting and cracking. So as you can see, I've painted the whole rim white. Hopefully the wood will last a little bit longer that way. Now here I have a thermometer, of course, just stuck into this hole where the pipe comes out. That's the out where the water comes out. I don't actually have a way to measure the temperature of the water. I'd have to sit here and disassemble all my connections and all that stuff to get a true temperature of the water, but just this temperature gauge sitting on top of that pipe of the is 120 degrees at the end of the day. So I can imagine what the heat of the water is inside the tank. So there's kind of a measurement. Now also at the end of the day you want to have a way to hold that heat in. So what I've done is, luckily I had an old hot tub cover, which the design I built, luckily it will fit right over the top just like that and hold the heat in. And that's how it works for me. And of course the top is probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, so it does hold the heat in for a good long time. So that's another thing you might want to do if you build one. Well, I've ran my hot and cold lines right into the heater vent into the house, and of course I left plenty of room for the heater to vent out too, so that's how I got the lines into the house. Alright, well I'll just show you some of the inside here. A little glare, sorry. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got my pipe, drain pipe out there, which is right there. Alright, well some of the things that I've learned about having a solar hot water heater is, first thing you want to do, even before you build a solar hot water heater, or even if you don't want to build a solar hot water heater, insulate your inside hot water heater really good. Just that alone will save you some money. Also, the tricks that I've found to get the maximum out of a solar hot water heater is, if you can, always try to shower right when the sun goes down. That way your hot water is at its hottest point, and because the later you wait, the cooler your water is going to get. And of course, at the end of the day, when the sun isn't shining on anymore, cover it to hold your heat in. I found with just this lid right here, the water will stay hot almost up to 12 hours At least it does for me. So, in conclusion of part 3 of my video, I'm real happy I built this. And if you're thinking about building one, you should do it. You'll be glad you did. Thanks again for watching my video.